It should. Okay, now we're live.
We are live.
Let
We
me
are
refresh the YouTube
live and kicking.
but yeah, YouTube should. It's the first time I haven't had to mute YouTube. I had it YouTube and muted.
Well, it's all good. We are live.
Yeah.
How have you been doing this week, Tim? You okay?
Uh, yeah, I'm okay. It's just I haven't slept as much.
Ah,
And then I got
okay.
upset when I heard that Michael French of Retroblasting had got COVID, but he seems to be doing better now.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's that time of year, I suppose, when colds and flus and COVID and everything they get the upper hand, don't they?
Yeah, and
Oh,
yeah, you might want to mute something on
yeah.
your end because you're
Yeah.
you're starting
Sure.
to get echo. And travels with more and more. What Jason says on Friday, I am off to the reopening of HMV flagship store on Oxford Street up London as it's got its grand reopening after 5 years being shut.
Oh, okay. That's surprising because I thought they were shutting more of them, not, reopening. So, oh, okay. That'll be a
And
good
then
day, hopefully.
I don't know, but Andrew says to travel some more with Jason. That sounds very nice. I hope it isn't too crowded. And
Oh, I bet
then
it will be.
and then Jason says, "No, Andrew, I've been called Jay by some of my best friends. Funny thing is, I've been called Dave, and I still answer, laughing out loud. Long story, but yeah, Andrew said earlier in the chat at Travels and More, Jason, hope you don't mind Jay, but it rhymed with hey. That's what they were referring to.
Ah,
And let's see, Andrew says, you gents are live and we can hear you. Good.
excellent.
And then Sean Blue Digital is in the chat and says, hey, what's up, everyone? Hey, Sean. Hope you've been
Hey, man.
getting Blu-rays lately. I haven't been buying as much as I used to, but I don't have a 4K player, so I know there are some people that have the 4K setups.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think so, anyway.
And Gerard O'Connor saying, good evening, guys. Hope we are living our best lives.
I'm not sure about that, Gerard, but we are living. Um, so we're halfway there. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Is Ewok okay?
Yeah, she was here a moment ago, but she's gone off now. She's
Okay.
doing okay. She's all
And
right.
then we have Darth Wizzy Wizard saying hello, guys. And he's a
Hello,
Star Wars
Wizzy.
he's a Star Wars toy collector in
Yeah.
Canada. And then Sean Blue Digital all laughing out loud. I broke the bank at Best Buy for the Black Friday deals. Yeah, well, I guess that's good to splurge, especially since Best Buy is phasing out their physical media.
Right. Okay.
And Andrew said, is it Gerard O'Connor? Glad to see GOC, which stands for Gerard O'Connor.
It
And
does.
then Travels More with Jason. No, he reopening most stores. He did after he shut down a lot down. Think it was about the rent and other things. And
Oh,
Gerard says, Andrew, a pleasure as always.
indeed. So
And
are you getting set up for Thanksgiving tomorrow, Tim? What do you do at Thanksgiving?
I usually go over to one of my brother's houses. My oldest brother usually has us over, so I'm going over to his house tomorrow evening.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And
Okay.
Andrew says at Sean Blue Digital, I hope the stream is never gone now that we heard from Sean. And Travels More with Jason. Sean, do Best Buy have Mike? As when I get out to Orlando, I'm hoping to treat myself to a mic for my channel. And then Andrew saying, not sure I can keep up the rhyming as I generally have poor timing.
It would be good if everything Andrew put in the comments today was a rhyme. That would be quite the effort. I've got my sherry again. Good health. Cheers, everyone. So, is there what's the traditional Thanksgiving dinner? Is it turkey and stuff?
Yeah, it's turkey, and then on the side we have usually dinner rolls and cranberry sauce, and I think mashed potatoes and some type of casserole, and then stovetop stuffing.
Okay. So is the Thanksgiving meal very similar to the Christmas meal then?
I'm not sure. I know usually when we've had Christmas dinner, we usually have turkey. So it can be.
Right. Because obviously we don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, so it's not
Yeah,
something we have.
yeah, and I know in Canada they have their Thanksgiving on a different part of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think theirs might be in October. I'm not
Ah,
sure. And Sean Blue Digital says, I actually don't know about mics, and I actually need to get one for my own streams. Not even sure what the best one would be for that. Yeah, I just use a microphone that's built into my webcam.
hmm.
And then Travels More with Jason saying, I got my Pepsi Max.
Yeah, Jason likes his Pepsi Max.
So is that like something like a Diet Pepsi?
Yeah, it's got no sugar.
Okay. And then let's see what else. Sean Blue Digital, lol, laughing out loud, Andrew. Darth, Wizzy Wizard, Darth, comforting as gathering by the hearth. Yeah, he seems to be a poet, but doesn't know it today. And Gerard O'Connor, Thanksgiving Day seems like such a great thing. Would love if we had the celebration here in Ireland, i.e., instead I shall celebrate this chill instead.
Yeah. But then you get St. Paddy's Day, don't you? So um, I guess you can celebrate that.
And then Travels More, Jason says corn cake.
Corn cake? What?
It must be some sort of like holiday dish. Andrew says, Sherry, I see Monkeyboy is making merry.
Yeah, got my sherry on the go again.
And
Do like a
Gerard
bit of sherry.
O'Connor, I raise my glass of vino to you, Monkeyboy.
Thank you,
And
Gerard.
then
Cheers,
Joe
man.
Becky saying howdy y'all.
Hey,
And
Joe.
then
Hey, man.
Darth Wizzy Wizard says, yes, it is in October, but we celebrate the US one too. You do?
Oh,
Ooh,
ah,
Darth, because I don't think you guys have the Black Friday like we do, where there's people going to like Walmart at like 5 in the morning the day after Thanksgiving, where they all stampede just to get like a big screen TV.
yeah, yeah. We've had Black Friday over here for a few years now. Um, but yeah, it wasn't always a thing. I'm not sure where did it start in the US. Is that
I
where?
think so, but now in the US we have what's called Cyber Monday, which is the Monday
Yeah.
after Black Friday, where they put all the sales up online.
Yeah, we
And
have that too.
Gerard O'Connor says, hello to all in chat. Hit that like button, yo. And then Andrew at Joe Dubecky. Hey, Joe, what do you know? And Joe Dubecky, hail at Andrew. And Darth Wizzy Wizard, England should import the holiday as well.
Yeah, I agree. Why not? Why not? Maybe not on the same day, but we could have our own Thanksgiving, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think both Canada and the UK have Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
And I remember there being an episode of MASH about Boxing Day, and in that episode, the enlisted personnel switched places with the all the higher ranking military personnel.
Okay.
But since MASH was a non-combat unit, they're just being doctors and nurses, that's a bit different.
Right.
And Travels and More with Jason. Tim, the Black Label think it's just called Pepsi in the USA, not the blue or the other color. Okay. So I remember there being something called Peter Max or I'm not sure if that was his name, who did these like psychedelic animated cartoons for drive-in movie theaters, advertising the snack bar, and mainly doing it to advertise Pepsi. This was back in the 70s.
Oh,
You can find some of those on YouTube. And Delvian Seek, good evening.
hello to you, Delvian.
And Jason saying we have Black Friday sales here in the UK now. And yes, we have the Monday thing as well.
Yeah.
And Gerard O'Connor saying not even Black Friday anymore, Black November, more like ramming sales down our throats right across the board.
Yeah.
And then Andrew says Thanksgiving, also known as Turkey Day, throw out the scales, not a time to weigh. Yeah, and I think back in the 90s when I was in junior high, 7th and 8th grade, Comedy Central had started the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Turkey Day marathons, where they would do a marathon of Mystery Science Theater 3000. So
Okay.
I think that's where that Turkey Day name came from.
Andrew's still banging out the rhymes.
Yeah, and Gerard O'Connor, we enjoy Boxing Day, St. Stephen's Day, pub foodie, and turkey sambos. So what's pub foodie and turkey sambos?
A pub is, you know what a pub is?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
bar, but what's foodie and turkey sambos?
Footy is football, what you would
Oh,
call
so
soccer.
it's not short for foot or for food.
No, no, no. He means down the pub watching the footy and eating turkey sandwiches.
Okay, I was thinking maybe sambos was like turkey submarine sandwiches.
Oh no.
Okay, and we've got Knights of Old saying hi all.
Hello, Knights. Good to see you, man.
And Andrew at Delvian Seek. Glad you could stop by to speak. And Darth Wizzy Wizard, yes, Black Friday has expanded to Canada, CA.
Yeah.
And Andrew at Knights of Old Pure Gold. And Travels and More with Jason. Dave, sadly, I find out today that the volcano is a non-runner as got some
Oh,
battery and not a worker.
oh, that's a shame, man. That's a shame. I
Did
mean, it'll
some of
still
his
it'll display fine, but yeah, yeah,
Oh, does he mean the mask toy?
yeah, yeah. It's the only battery operated. Well, I suppose there is another battery operated mask toy, but in the main lines there was only one um, battery operated vehicle. That was the Volcano. Um, Obviously, the Laser Command was a battery operated set as well, but that wasn't officially part of the sort of the main toy line. It was kind of brought out as a bit of an afterthought, I think, to try and generate some more sales.
Okay. And Gerard O'Connor says soccer Tim Foodie is soccer. Yeah, I know in Norway they call soccer football.
Yeah.
And Darth Wizzy Wizard's asking, okay, what figures you gents pick up? Well, Darth, I don't really have. I still have stuff that I've never opened, so I don't really have much of anything new that I've picked up. But I think Dave Monkeyboy has some, and
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank, just listening for now, helping at a friend's on my day off. Okay.
Okay. Hey Lester, hope you're doing all right, man.
And Travels and More with Jason saying, think Black Friday is now all over the world.
Yeah, it's caught on, hasn't it?
Andrew at Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Hope Black Friday doesn't break your bank.
He's on fire. Andrew is absolutely on fire this evening.
Yes, and Travels More with Jason saying, still going to get another one and turn one back into a normal van with a bit of work. Judd,
Oh,
Judd need the scale.
okay. Yeah.
And Knights of All, I love the insane Christmas Boxing Day Premier League schedule.
Oh,
And Gerard O'Connor saying, so guys, I started down the Hot Wheels rabbit hole this week with Star Wars and Batman as they look cool on my bedroom wall. Am I crazy? Not
um,
necessarily.
no, I don't think you're crazy, Gerard, but that really is a rabbit hole. I think I don't think you'll get to the end of it. I think you'll be chasing the next one and the next one and the next one. Because they certainly do make a lot of them, and there are loads of Star Wars and Batman, or certainly there are loads of Batman ones. Um, but it's achievable. Um, but I think you'll expand into other properties perhaps, because you'll think, oh, I like this one, I like that one, and then before you know where you are, you'll need another bedroom wall, mate.
Mm-hmm. So, another thing from Andrew. Andrew, Amazon just shipped me the latest mashup of Transformers and G.I. Joe. Sadly, been too busy to give it a go.
He's doing well, isn't he? You got to give him credit. He's doing this very
Yes,
well.
yes.
Uh, Good stuff. His brain is going to catch on fire by the end.
Andrew at Gerard O'Connor. Hot Wheels helps keep Mattel in the black. Once you go down the rabbit hole, there is no turning back.
How is he doing this?
I don't know. He's just pretty clever.
Yeah, I know. Very good, Andrew. Good stuff. Yeah. Hot Wheels is a real rabbit hole. But don't Hot Wheels make more than one? If you were to buy all the Hot Wheels in a year, you would have more than one every day. I think they make more than 356 a year. I
I
think.
don't know.
I think so. I think I remember hearing that somewhere. And they bring out
But
loads of variants and different stuff, so you could literally buy one every day, and you still wouldn't finish by the year.
yeah. And Gerard O'Connor's given us that crying, laughing face. It's rolling around. And Knights of Old saying, I want to sell maybe 100 plus of my 1970s to 80s loose Matchbox Hot Wheels cars. Any tips? Maybe break up lots by year type? Yeah, I don't know. That's not something I'm familiar with. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
I usually don't. It's not something I get into selling collectibles.
there's several different ways you could sell them. Um, I mean, you could sell them um, by manufacturer, um, by model, um, like you said, by the year. Um, there are different ways of doing it. I mean, it's if you want to sell over 100 of them, that's going to be a lot of legwork to list them all. Um, but obviously, you'll get more that way than if you was to sell them all as a lot. Um, but I've never really. I mean, I used to have cars and stuff when I was a kid, like Matchbox toys and things like that. But I don't know a great deal about them, I'm afraid, and I don't know where they are now. Whether I've still got them or not somewhere, I don't know.
And Darth Wizzy Wizard saying, clever chap Andrew is.
Yep.
And then Knights of Old, too much stuff, not enough room.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm in the same position.
And Andrew saying at Knights of Old, don't sell anymore, sad to say. But when I did, it was usually eBay.
Yeah.
And then travels with more and more with Jason saying, I saw back in Thailand a whole wall full of Hot Wheels with old, different, and all new. I would have said about 400 or more. That a big rabbit hole. GI Joe was a smaller rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And Gerard O'Connor says, "Oh no, too many Hot Wheels. Damn." Speaking of numbers produced, I've heard somewhere that there is more Lego minifigures out there than us people knocking about. Surely can't be true.
Oh, okay.
And Andrew saying at Knights of Old, that is my most common lament. Lack of space causes me much discontent.
I don't know how he's doing this. This is crazy. Andrew,
I don't know.
your brain must be running at such a high kind of bandwidth to be able to make all these rhymes so quickly.
It seemed like when I was a kid, there was always some TV show on that would always there would be at least one episode where they were just rhyming all the way through most of the episode. So I don't know if he gets that from his childhood or not.
Wow. Certainly doing very well with it.
Or
So
maybe
you
he
didn't
just.
pick up anything this week? Any movies or anything, Tim?
No, I'm short on cash. I had to buy some new clothes.
Okay. How did you get on with your shoulder blade exercises for your tribal fusion?
That was a little bit tricky. He just dropped uh, the video of that on his Patreon today for us to practice with, since we'll be having a class tomorrow. Since
Uh-huh.
last Thursday we didn't have class,
Right.
so that was a bit of a challenge. But I'm hoping tomorrow it's a choreography, because I can have a little bit more fun with a choreography compared to just doing an exercise.
Yeah.
But even with a choreography, sometimes I have to improvise a little bit to make it more fun.
Right.
And Travels and More with Jason, I think there's about 10 minifigures to each one of us.
Right.
Yeah, and I remember back in the 80s when I was a young kid, I think sometimes you could get the Lego figures in a package separate from a Lego set. It seemed like Toys R Us would have like a box of maybe 8 to 10 of them without any other Legos. It was just the figures.
Right.
And we're getting more people in the chat. And Knights of Old, I had to buy a new roof. That was expensive. Yes.
Oh.
And All Things 80s, Dean
Ah,
saying, hello, hello, hello.
good evening, Dean. Good to see you, man.
And Gerard O'Connor says, Andrew, one is setting the bar very high. I do hope the poetry becomes a weekly joy bestowed upon us all. And Travels More with Jason. I picked up some parts for my Robo Skull, so now it's about 70% complete, and that's the Action Force
Mm-hmm.
vehicle for,
Yeah.
what do they call it? Yeah, Action Force is Britain's version of GI Joe, but what do they call Cobra in the when it comes to
Oh.
Action Force?
Um. Um. Is it Red Shadows?
Maybe it is, but who's the leader of that? Oh, it's Baron
Um.
Ironblood, I think, is the leader.
Yeah.
And I've heard that they gave an explanation in the British comics to how he became Cobra Commander eventually. I think they pretty much Americanized it an awful lot
Right.
after a point.
I'm not hugely familiar with GI Joe and Action Force. I think I had one Action Force figure, I think, which was actually a space one. So it wasn't technically a military one. It was an orange and blue space guy.
Yeah,
I'm never really into the military stuff.
and Darth Wizzy Wizard's asking, what are you guys focusing on regards to collecting now and going forward? Well, I still collect a little bit of Blu-rays and DVDs, but seems like when it comes to toys, I'm mainly collecting Star Wars action figures, but I pretty much
Right.
stick to 3.75 inch. I'm not into really 6 inch.
I can show you what I'm collecting at the moment. I'm collecting these.
Muscle Men.
Yep, muscle figures. I'm trying to get as many of these as I can at the moment. The problem with collecting muscle figures is that they produced well over 200 of them, and the more you collect, the harder it is to collect the rest, because obviously, if people are selling like a bundle of them on eBay, if you've got 50 of them already, chances are that you're going to have quite a lot of the ones in the bundles. So the longer you collect something like this, the more doubles you end up with and triples that you end up with. So what I might have to do is, in a couple of months, when I've picked up as many as I feel I want to, I then might take out all the duplicates that I've got and sell those, move those on, possibly, because I've got there's a couple in here that are doubles already, and I've recently just bought another three three bundles on eBay, so I've got a lot more arriving. But this is what I'm into at the moment, is trying to get a decent collection of muscle figures.
So were those the new action figures you had to show off that you just bought? You said you had a
No,
couple.
no,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no.
And
I've got a couple of proper action figures this week as well.
Gerard O'Connor saying, Yo, Dean, and Travels and More with Jason. Hi, Dean, how are you? And Jason's also says, Still can, Tim, my brother picks them up. Blu-rays or Star Wars action figures? And Darth Wizzy Wizard says, Dean. And Dean, of all things 80, says, Hello there, Gerard O'Connor. Travels and More with Jason and Darth Wizzy Wizard. And then Zombie Box Reviews says, Hey, Tim.
Hey, Zombie Box.
And Travels and More with Jason saying, Me, I trying to complete my Action Force and get Star Wars playsets. So you mean like the vintage Kenner playsets, or do you mean something like the newer like Hasbro diorama playsets, like this Navarro Cantina that I customized a bit? That's pretty much the only playsets I've been collecting when it comes to Star Wars. But that's more of a diorama than your traditional playset. Because that's pretty much what Hasbro does now. They just do the diorama playsets. They don't do the more traditional playsets that we had back in the 70s and 80s and maybe a little bit into the 90s.
Yeah. Some of the dioramas look cool, but I do prefer a playset to a diorama.
Yeah. And Travels and More, Jason says, Yes, Red Shadows, and I am sure, and yes, Baron Iron Blood.
Yeah.
And Darth Wizzy Wizard saying, Holy cow, Musclemen, not seen them since 33 years ago or longer. Yeah, Darth, my brother James, he would collect those when he was a kid, and I think they were pretty much marketed as all these different weird characters that were supposed to be like wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, they were based off a Japanese manga called Kinnikuman. Um, and they were, I'm not sure who produced them in Japan, but Hasbro took the license and rebranded them as Muscle figures, and Muscle stands for Millions of Unusual Small Creatures Lurking Everywhere. That's what the acronym stands for.
Okay. And Knights of Old. Hey, Dean, that Thailand toy collection was so amazing. Does he own a toy company? I saw a lot of those bear Mickey shaped modern large figure statues.
Oh, those
And
bear things are awful. They are horrendous.
and Travels and More, Jason answer my question. He says mini Lego figures, Tim. Okay.
Uh,
And Knights of Old, I like those muscle boxed figure sets in the ring. Yeah, my
yeah,
brother James had the ring and he had some of those box sets. And I think he had the board game that had some of the figures with it. But then I think by the time they came out with the board game, that that had some figures with it that you could play as playing pieces. They started making them all the figures in different colors. They weren't just pink anymore. They started to make green,
Yeah,
orange,
yeah, yeah. They
and
they
purple.
re-released all the figures. They were the same molds, but they were in different neon colors: pink, blue, green, red, orange, yellow. Yeah,
And
I
Andrew,
only collect the original salmon colored ones. They're the only ones I collect.
yeah, and these were figures that they didn't have any articulation at all.
No,
So it was like those Smurf figures, just the PVC, like rubbery plastic that
yeah,
was just
yeah.
like a statue. You you couldn't move their arms or anything. And
Andrews.
Andrew, yeah, he's saying, gents, please feel free to let me know if you tire of this bit. Some of these rhymes a little bit post retracted. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe you've seen a little bit too much like Shakespeare plays or movies. Because your rhyming reminds me a little bit of Romeo and Juliet, especially the old movie with Lydia Hussey and Leonard Whiting.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You know, something he says, da, 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 something, 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 daughter of fair Capulet. But it had a lot of rhyming to it.
Right.
And Travels and more Jason vintaged him, but I don't mind the model playsets. I guess you mean modern. That's just a typo. And Knights of Old, I've been into vintage Micronauts, but it's kind of overwhelming. Yeah, one of my brothers, Jerry, he had the Micronauts like tube playset where you plug it in and you could have these little cars going through the tubes. And Darth Wizzy Wizard, has Dean started his 40th Return of the Jedi Star Wars collection yet? And Andrew at All Things 80s, glad to welcome you aboard, talking about our toys that you like to hoard. And Gerard O'Connor, don't you dare stop now, Andrew. That was the best one yet, laughing out loud. And Andrew only saw the muscle figures in pink, different colors. Monkeyboy will make you think. And All Things 80s, Dean says at Knights of Old, it's just his own personal toy collection. And then Lester San Jose, the skeptic tank at Andrew thinks it helps to have a side gig for extra cash. And All Things 80s says that Darth Wizzy Wizard, nope, no modern tat for me. And Dean, All Things 80s, says thanks at Andrew. And then Darth Wizzy Wizard, laughing out loud, oh, Dean. And Gerard O'Connor, really was a sight to behold, Dean. You captured great footage, and thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that was an incredible collection that guy had.
So when was this?
Dean posted a video, I think it was a week or two ago now, showing
Okay.
a guy's massive Batman collection. And
Okay,
this guy in Thailand had thousands and thousands and thousands of Batman
okay.
merch.
Okay, all things 80s. My pleasure at Gerard O'Connor and Travels and More Jason. When I go to Florida, I go toy hunting and looking for the A-Team vehicles, Star Wars playsets, carry cases, and some G.I. Joe as well.
Right.
And Knights of Old muscle figures were sold in capsules the 25-cent gumball capsules in Japan. Yeah, I think they sold some in those gumball capsules here in the States too, but they were just cheap looking. My brother had one of those, and it was just really
Yeah.
cheap looking. And we've got
Yeah.
Kim Gonick joining us now. Hi, Kim.
Hey.
Hey, good evening, Kim. How you doing?
Yeah, okay. I've got a poorly guinea pig just now, though.
Hmm.
You mean one died?
No. So one did pass away about a month ago, but I've got another one that's not doing very well.
Oh no.
Hmm.
But she is an old lady now.
Okay, and
Your guinea pigs have all got really good names.
What? But just because I don't call them Oreo and Star and Cookie.
They're good. They've all got very, very unusual names. It's cool.
I did manage to get 15 mils of syringe food into her, which I feel better about.
Oh, okay.
But she's an old lady. She's 6.5. That's old in piggy terms.
Yeah, yeah. What's their normal life expectancy? Is it like 4 or 5 years, or
5 to 7 on average, but that's on the basis that they've got good care and good genetics.
right? Okay.
But it's the same as rabbits, hamsters, rats, and this sort of thing. Like, people just breed them like ridiculous numbers. They're so inbred that their genetics are kind of a bit naff.
Right. Oh,
You're just lucky if you get. Because I know a lady that breeds them, but she breeds them to show them.
right.
So she has specific breeds that she'll take them to actual physical like guinea pig shows, and she'll win prizes and stuff for them and everything, but she works on their genetic line.
Okay.
So if there's a problem with the genetic line, she just doesn't breed that line again.
Right. Okay.
Which is actually, do you know what? I'm not a big fan of breeders, but when breeders actually spend time looking at genetic lines and stuff to try and breed sort of the bad parts out, I don't have so much of a problem
Right.
with that. Because there's a guy up in Aberdeenshire up here who is attempting to breed like a bigger snout onto bulldogs and stuff.
Oh.
Because they wanted to ban the breed because they wanted to ban quite a lot of breeds with that snout because they're too short and they had issues breathing.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of breeders in the UK who have said, right, well, we'll try and see if we can actually breed them into having longer snouts so they can actually breathe properly.
Right.
To avoid completely banning the breed altogether.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Sorry, that's my tidbit for the evening.
yeah, and Travels More Jason says 4 floors, if I remember, Dean, that toy collection. And Gerard O'Connor says, hey, Kim. And then Darth Wizzy Wizard, Dean, get the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi Vader in the vintage collection and the Black series.
I don't think Dean's going to be buying any vintage collection or Black series, Wizzy.
Yeah,
That's
I think.
unlikely.
Yeah, I think Dean's more into the original, aside from maybe a little bit of the retro collection. And then Travels and More with Jason says, hi, Kim. And I think maybe you already answered this one, Kim. Gerard O'Connor says, do they live long, Kim?
Well, it depends what you class as long, because a lot of people wouldn't say 5 to 7 years is long, but we forget there's some breeds of dogs that live the same life expectancy.
Yeah.
They don't have long life expectancies. Generally big dogs, actually.
Yeah.
Rottweilers and that don't have long life expectancies. Neither do Alsatians and German Shepherds either, really.
Yeah, and All Things 80 says to Darth Wizzy Wizard, no need. I have the only Vader I need. And Kenner made that in 78. And Gerard O'Connor says, do they smell up the gath? Hamsters smell horrendous. IMO. Yeah, I think it just
My
depends.
opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion. I think that's just when you haven't cleaned up their cage at all. Maybe.
It's that, but also hamsters do have a partial carnivorous diet, so it's different protein.
Okay.
Guinea pigs are complete and utter herbivores, so technically you can actually use guinea pig waste for your compost.
Okay. And Darth Wizzy Wizard says that Dean Stan Solo has a really nice Vader coming out. Get that one too on card. Great decor for your collection room. Yeah, I've got that pre-ordered Darth Wizzy Wizard, the Darth Vader that's done in the style of a vintage Kenner action figure, but he'll have the removable mask similar to the modern figures.
That's cool.
And Andrew says, sounds like a new type of guinea pig, Dr. Frankenstein, creating a new type of guinea pig line.
I suppose.
And Kim Gonick, hey all. And then Lester says, hello, Kim. And Andrew, Kim Gonick, the potato poster, that is iconic. And All Things 80 said Darth Wizzy Wizard, yes, that the Stan Solo Creations Vader ordered. Cool. And Gerard O'Connor, I have a American Bully with said short snout. It is troublesome for him. Also, people are afraid of him due to some horrible tales of the breed, but he's a great big soft teddy bear and the softest.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think most people can agree that dogs that attack and stuff like that, one, I think it's put massively on the owners, and two, I have to then question the dog's past and what's happened to it to then have that behavior, because most likely most dogs will attack out of fear. It's not aggression, it's fear-based aggression.
Yeah.
So there's two questions there, instead of people just being like, oh, it bit me because it's aggressive. And I'm like, well, not really. Most animals don't bite unless like you're provoking them, they're scared. It's their defense mechanism. So what did you do to warrant that behavior?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gerard O'Connor says member of the family. And then Darth Wizzy Wizard says, nice, Dean. And Gerard O'Connor, often I believe the sad tales of dog attacks are due to irresponsible owners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Travels and More with Jason, totally, Kim. And Darth Wizzy Wizard, there is never a bad dog. It's always the owner or it's been abused.
Do you know what, though? I have to say, there was an incident up here, because we get a lot of horse riders and stuff where I live. And a guy thought he was going to be able to take a rider. So there was a woman out with her. Basically, she was out on a hack in the forest. And this guy had obviously decided to take his dog for a walk in the forest. And his dog had next to no recall.
Right.
And the dog, of course, went and started barking and getting underneath the horse's legs. And, of course, the horse kicked it.
Oh.
And the dog had to be put down. And the dog owner assumed that he would be within his rights to take the rider to court. And I'm like, well, not really. You would lose that miserably on the basis that you shouldn't have been letting your dog in amongst a horse's feet, especially if your dog has no recall.
Yeah.
What's that mean, it doesn't have any recall?
So, like, when
it doesn't come back when it's called?
Yeah. I
Okay.
personally feel like unless you are in an area where you know for it, like it's a fenced off area that you know for a fact it's not going to get anywhere, or it's going to run into any other like dog or animal or anything like that. If it doesn't, for me, if a dog doesn't have secure, like really secure recall, it stays on a lead
Okay.
unless it's in a safe area. The
Okay.
amount of people that live round about me who have dogs that have zero recall and they just come bounding up to people and stuff like this, and I'm like, you're just asking for trouble.
Do
You know what? Bring back animal permits and pet permits. So that you have to have a permit to have an animal.
And
Well, I
recall is a difficult thing to train a dog as well, because it's one of those things where you have to let them run away and then you call them back. But how do I explain it? I mean, if you want to teach a dog to sit, you can encourage it by putting your hand on its back quarters and pushing down and kind of showing the dog what you want to do. But with recall, you can't show them what you want to do. You just need to reward them for doing it right once, and then hope that they kind of get the message. So it's a very difficult thing to teach a dog. It's one of the hardest things to do.
It's definitely one of the hardest things, but you know, the police canine units.
Yeah.
They've been offering recall training.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have offered recall training to owners and stuff now, because you know for a fact any dog in the canine unit, they will never, their recall will never fault.
Yeah.
So we have had police officers and stuff like that. They have offered classes where police officers from canine units would come in and stuff to talk about the recall training they do.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Try and help people with getting the correct recall training and stuff.
And they're doing that for free?
Yeah, I know they did it up here. It was part of like it was like the communities did it. So like the villages put it on and stuff as like it was basically because there was accidents with dogs being off leads and they were running into roads and stuff like that because people weren't recalling them early enough coming off like the railway line.
Right.
So the railway line is a walking path. It used to be a railway line a long time ago, but it's now like a walkway.
Okay.
But people still call it the railway line, but it's like down beside the river and stuff, and everybody walks there. But then you have to come back up to the roadside, and people don't they don't call their dogs back early enough to get them in a secure position, and then they run onto the roads. So some of the villages were putting on a dog safety workshop for like a week or so, I think, for people to come and learn better training methods from experts and stuff, just to try and help. I think you can make a donation, if I remember correctly.
Right.
But it's one of these things, like, at the end of the day, if you're going to get an animal, then it's a lot of work, and you need to make sure that you're researching it correctly and making sure that you know what all the work that's involved.
Yeah.
And Gerardo Connor saying, absolutely agree, Kim. Wise you are, my best Yoda, laughing out loud. And Andrew at Gerardo Connor, I thought you meant American Bully was your guinea pig breed. I need to be more careful in what I read. And Gerardo Connor, my poor bully Kano is all over the place right now, going crazy as both my bitches are in heat right now. I feel for him. Yeah, and you just mean female dogs. You don't mean actual person.
I kind of feel sorry for the female dogs that are in heat, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Gerard, is your dog named after the character in Mortal Kombat? How did you get on with your 0-0 Guinness, Kim?
It's finished.
Finished?
Yeah, I actually quite like it, to be fair.
Is it pretty much the same as normal Guinness? I've never had it.
Well, I've never had, to be fair, I've never really had proper Guinness because I don't particularly drink, but Nick says it's one of the only like 0.0 stuff he'll drink because it's actually fairly close to what the actual one tastes like, obviously just without the alcohol.
Yeah. Oh.
So that was quite a big up if that comes from him, to be fair.
And Darth Wizzy Wizard, my neighbor up the road is an idiot crackhead that has 2 dogs, good dogs, but it's caused major issues.
Right. Yeah.
Animals that just have to put up with humans. I feel so sorry for them.
Yeah, and Knights of Old, what's the best dog figures and toy lines?
Ooh.
Knights of Old.
Probably the G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Is it Timber?
Yeah.
The name of the wolf?
Yeah, Knights of Old says Junkyard and Timber.
Yeah.
And then Gerard O'Connor says Classified Junkyard for sure. And Gerard O'Connor saying Playmate Scooby-Doo is super fun, though.
Yeah.
And I know you like Scooby-Doo as much as I do, Monkeyboy.
Yeah.
You sometimes have him show up in your. You sometimes have him show up in your videos.
Yeah, he does make an appearance now and then. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of Scooby. I didn't realise I liked Scooby-Doo until I saw my collection of Scooby-Doo stuff, and I thought, oh, actually, it seems I like Scooby-Doo. I didn't quite realise it. It kind of sort of got past me under the radar, really, and I realised I had about 5 mystery machines and loads of Scooby-Doo characters, and I thought, oh, actually, yeah, I do like it.
I feel like they kind of ruined Scooby-Doo with Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And Knights of Old, he was a little shit. Yeah, Knights of Old saying, I like Daggett from Battlestar Galactica, kind of dog-like. Yeah, and the first episode of that, they had it was a dog, that played the Daggett, but then it got killed, so then they made like a robot version of it for that kid after his Daggett, his living one, got killed. And I found out that was a chimpanzee in a suit playing the robot.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about that, actually. Yeah, that's kind of messed up, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Different numbers. I always count them. And Lester San Jose, gee, it helps to tap onto live. Yeah, sometimes you just have to re-tap onto the live button. And Joe Dubecky, bitches be heat. And Gerard O'Connor, yes, Monkeyboy, but of course. And Andrew says, Knights of Old. Order was the dog from G.I. Joe that came with Blah, forgetting which is a common flaw.
He's really doing well with these rhymes, isn't he?
Yeah. And Gerard O'Connor, Baby Guinness is the bomb, a shot consisting of Tia, Maria, and Bailey's. So good, but extremely sweet. And Andrew says, not to give you a shock, but Cobra eschewed dogs in favor of a croc.
Right.
And then Andrew says, it almost slipped my mind, but Doctor Who had the robot pal K9.
Yeah.
That became more of Sarah Jane's companion, I think, later on.
I never liked that K9.
And Gerard O'Connor says, Scrappy gets a lot of hate, but I always enjoyed him putting up his Duke sit. Let me at him, Uncle Scoob.
Yeah.
And Xantara says Scrappy was scrapped around 1989. Scooby made a great rebound, but I think it is now in the toilet again. The recent series and the direct-to-video films have been garbage. Yeah, well, they've most of the cast member, the original voice actors, have died. Don
Yeah.
Messick, who was the voice of Scooby, I think had like a stroke back in the 90s, and then he died, I think, in 1996 or 97. Or
Yeah,
maybe
but I feel like that's not really an excuse considering Land Before Time has 14 movies and the girl that voiced Ducky died quite early on.
14?
Yes, there are 14 Land Before Time movies.
My
Oh,
God.
we got Nick joining us now, the Action Pop Dad. Hello, Nick.
Sup, Tim?
You okay?
Hey, man.
Monkey? Kim? I'm good, thank
How
you.
you feeling, dude?
As you can hear, I'm not 100%, but I'm a lot better than I was last week.
Yeah, you didn't sound good last week. Just a quick
So just,
hello to Xantara. Thanks for stopping by, my lady. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. Because last week was a bit of a struggle for you, I think, wasn't it?
it was struggle up here. It was just a horrible week. It's just when you get ill, it just knocks you right back in every sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, they'll let the women and children go first, right?
Everything is a lot better. Piglet says hi.
Right.
Aw, that's so cute. And Knights of Old's asking, are you a fan of the guinea pig character in Nimpu Senshei Hurricaneger Power Rangers name equals Ninja Storm?
I don't
No
know
idea
that.
what that is.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
we don't know what that is. Knights of Old.
Power Rangers. I mean, past the original cast. That I was there for the start and what I call the heyday of Power Rangers, but I don't know a lot past that. The early years, the first 3 years or so.
I don't know anything about Power Rangers. Literally nothing. Not even the first thing. I couldn't tell you what the. I mean, I know they're different colours, but that's all I know. I don't know why.
And Andrew Monkeyboy can do a fine Scooby-Doo voice. For the next movie, he is my choice.
Oh, thank you.
And Xantar says, Frank Welker does a great Scooby, and the replacements have been good. It's been bad writing, and that Velma series is raw sewage. Yeah.
Oh.
They did not need to revamp Velma. That was just... They wokeified
that was a very
her
strange decision. I mean, no one liked her to begin with, did they?
And they isn't, from what I hear with that Velma series, it's quite woke, like Tim said. They've changed a lot of aspects of the character, and it's not what we would have known. So,
right,
it's kind of.
Do you know what I think you should all watch?
Go on.
Poi Poi Molcar.
What?
Poi Poi Molcar.
Popeye Walker?
Poi Poi Molcar.
I don't know what that is.
It's Japanese for guinea pig cars. It's a Japanese cartoon that they've made guinea pigs into cars. So the cars like drive and take passengers, but they also squeak and eat lettuce and have parties and adventures. It's on Netflix and YouTube.
And Kim, it's not going to be an APC podcast episode.
Did I say that?
You'd love it. You'd love it.
Well, to be fair, I've got to do your stuff, so.
Yeah, and
true.
Gerard O'Connor saying, "My ma'am, God rest her, always loved the original Land Before Time. Oh, and the Fox and the Hound also."
Do you not notice though, if you look at kids' movies now compared to kids' movies then, like Land Before Time and Fox and the Hound, they didn't half like traumatize you by making you sad.
Yeah.
Like abandonment issues and losing parents.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
It's like Watership Down is horrific, isn't it?
that is
You know,
not a
there's a lot
kids
of
movie.
people-
That is not a kids movie.
There's
It-
a lot of people who had to watch Watership Down as kids, and like I've got a pal that had that, and she can't watch it. It actually did traumatize her. She can't watch it. There's
Yeah.
another one, with woodland animals and stuff in it, which is quite graphic.
Animals of Farthing Wood.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
and Ralph Bakshi's Wizards, even though it's PG, that is not a kids movie. It's animated, but that is not a kids movie. That is not something to show your kids, even though it's PG. That is
To
for
be fair,
adults.
I never had an issue with Watership Down. I actually thought it was quite well done in a way to show kids about death and going to heaven and all that type of thing, personally. But
Yeah.
it's just
yeah,
like,
but that evil rabbit was terrifying.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like, but the thing about it is it's technically nature and it's technically life.
Yeah, and Gerard O'Connor says, Nick, sup? He's asking you, what's up?
I'm having a vape. I'm drinking a nice Italian beer. I'm feeling a lot better. So I'm good, thank you, man.
And if we've got the lovely Sherry in the chat, who I know from a number of different YouTube live stream chats, saying hi to me. Hi, Sherry.
Hello, Sherry.
Sherry.
And then Andrew, I think we are glad to be joined by Action Pop Dad.
I don't know if you picked up on it, Nick, but Andrew, every single comment he's made so far this evening has been a rhyme.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, and Gerard O'Connor's giving those rolling, laughing, crying emojis in the chat. And then Knights of Old Hurricane Edgar is a 26 Super Sentai show in 2002. Their Sensei is turned into a guinea pig, kind of like Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Gerard O'Connor's asking, have you checked out the Tetris movie yet? Nick, you'll love it.
I haven't yet, but I do know what it is now. And it's on my list of things to do, but I've got to watch a film because somebody wants to do an episode on it. So I've got to watch that like 95 times in the next month. So it's all good.
Yeah, and Xantar is
Get
saying
to
the woke stuff is the least of Velma's sins. There is also gore and unending vulgarity and adult jokes. Yeah.
Oh,
That-
okay. Well,
that was
well, now,
really-
now I'm coming around to it now.
That
I
is
didn't know
really
that.
just, it's in poor taste, though. If you're used to original Scooby-Doo, it's just in poor taste. They
I
just-
think everyone should just go and buy Hobo with a Shotgun and watch that.
Yeah, and Andrew saying they just redid Watership Down, but haven't seen it. But it is around. Yeah, I haven't
Hobo
seen
with the
Hobo
shotgun.
with the shotgun.
Have you seen this, Tim?
So good.
No, but that's one of those like grindhouse movies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Knights of Old saying Watership Down made me upset when I was like 6, laughing out loud. And Gerard O'Connor, I cried watching Free Willy and still don't know why. It was only yesterday, laughing out loud. Joking aside, I did cry watching that movie as a kid. And Johnny Sorensen says, what did Tim say to the Predator? Chill out. And Travels and Worth Jason, Tim, Watership, I believe it is a kid film back as it is a PG rating, I believe. Yeah, and I think it used to come on HBO and the movie channel in an early time slot when I was a kid, but still, it's a bit intense.
So the worst kid show I've seen recently. My
What?
boys started watching the new Dennis the Menace and Nasher thing, right? So in the UK, we've had a comic for years called the Beano, and they've tried to modernise Dennis. And forgive the way I'm going to word this, Dennis is a pussy. He doesn't do anything overly naughty. And in the age we're in now, you would think Dennis, like, if they want to update him, he should have been like a hoodie with an Asbo or something, and like going around with like doing crazy. But he's just, the stuff they get up to is just like, you're not a menace though, are you, mate? They've tried to what is Dennis the Menace? You know, he's a little turd, isn't he?
Yeah.
And now he's just a dick.
And is this a cartoon?
It's like a CGI cartoon, yeah. Because my boy doesn't any different. I mean, I've given him like some old Beano annuals to read, and he likes those. But of course, he is 9, so. But the problem is, like, I can show him all of the cartoons I used to like, but I don't force him on me. You know, they're up there on the shelf. If he wants to watch them, they're there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to force them down his neck.
Yeah, and Andrew says the general from Watership Down was one bad bunny. In any fight, that is where I put my money. And Knights of Old says Scavenger's Reign and Blue Eye Samurai were pretty cool new animation shows. And Travels More with Jason. I remember watching Watership Down, and wow, it was shown to us at school, and we got to watch Lord of the Rings original as well in school.
Right.
You mean the Ralph Bakshi one, Travels More with Jason? Because that wasn't finished. That was only Fellowship of the Ring plus the first half of the Two Towers.
Yeah, I think I remember watching Watership Down at school, actually.
And Gerard O'Connor says, Monkeyboy, Nick, great minds think alike.
Well, yeah,
And-
I mean, I picked up Hobo with a shotgun under the recommendation of somebody not too far away from here. I can't. Where's my camera?
Or you might grow up to be like me, a hobo with a shotgun.
So yeah, Nick sent me the link to the trailer, and I watched it, and I bought it immediately. As soon as the trailer had finished, I went straight on to eBay and bought the movie. This looks like my cup of tea. Proper sort of exploitation type grindhouse type stuff. It looks ridiculous, but I think I'm going to thoroughly enjoy that.
Oh, it's ridiculous, but it's great.
Yeah, well, I think it's supposed to be like a B-grade movie, so B-grade movies can be really cheesy.
Yeah, it looked like that, but
it's exactly what it is.
And the effects look, like sort of really cheap kind of gore effects like you would get in the 80s. But I was definitely sold when I saw the trailer. I knew I had to get that immediately.
Yeah, and Johnny Sorensen says Dennis the mildly normal.
Yeah.
And Gerard O'Connor says, who came first, Dennis the Menace or Bartholomew Simpson? I think Dennis
the Menace by a very long, by decades.
And Travels More with Jason, correct him. And Gerard O'Connor, the 90s Dennis the Menace cartoon was lame as F too. And Johnny Sorensen, hobo with a shotgun? He must be talking about Roddy Piper and They Live.
Good old Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Where's the potato tonight, Kim?
No. I have a potato.
You sent me a really good funny meme today. I laughed at that. That was funny. It's about
I know,
potatoes.
I
It was
sent
relevant.
it to Dave too. Just because I saw it and it said potato and then fries.
Stop beeping phone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and
You know,
Action
actually, what
Pop,
we. Sorry. Go, Tim.
yeah,
Sorry.
Action Pop Dad says Andrew likes to rhyme. Playa
Player
knows
knows
it's chill out time. Johnny Sorensen nearly spat my coffee out at that potato comment. And Gerard O'Connor, any of us boys ever rock around with the pocketed slingshot? I haven't.
What potato comment? I don't understand. What potato comment did we say that was funny?
Somebody was asking about a potato. Was asking you something about a potato.
Oh, I have
earlier.
a type of potato.
Yeah.
Do you know what we found on YouTube that I used to watch as a kid with my dad? But it wouldn't really be allowed now.
Yeah. What's that?
Deputy Dog.
Deputy Dog?
Deputy Dog.
Yeah, my dad actually has quite a few sayings, but when you actually think about them, he actually took them off the Deputy Dog.
Yeah.
Like things like hooey musky. But you can find it on YouTube. But now when I watch it on YouTube, I'm like, yeah, we'd never get away with half of this stuff now.
Do you know what I used to like as a kid? That's cartoon, Hanna-Barbera cartoon, right? It used to have wacky races, but I used to like Catch the Pigeon.
Yeah, Catch the
Ah,
Pigeon.
Oh,
Catch the Pigeon,
that's
Catch the
Dick
Pigeon.
Dastardly and Muttley and the Flying
And
Machine.
all the wacky racers had the planes, and they would all try and catch the pigeon. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just Dick Dastardly and Muttley going, and like a few other guys in airplanes going after Yankee Doodle Pigeon.
It was good because I actually had a free VHS box set I was bought as a kid, and the reason I remembered that is because it had Deputy Dog in one VHS, Catch the Pigeon, and the third one I can't remember. It was probably Pooh, but not as in Pooh Bear, as in it was probably rubbish. But there you go.
Yeah. Do you know what I miss?
I had that. What do you miss?
Galaxy High.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Galaxy
yeah,
High.
I remember that from when I was a kid.
Galaxy High.
I think I was like 9 years old when that first came on.
I liked Galaxy High when it came out, though.
I've got no memory of that at all.
It was an American Saturday morning cartoon, so I don't know if you would have seen it in England, Monkeyboy.
Oh. Yeah,
well, we would, because I've seen it. So we had it on video. We had it on VHS. I don't know if you can even get it now.
Galaxy High was Galaxy High was up there. It was a show we watched.
I don't know if you can even buy Galaxy High now.
I'm just looking now.
Because like we had it on VHS, but that was so long ago. I don't even think we've still got a video player, actually, to be fair.
Because I want the lyrics something like, wasn't it about Amy and Doyle? And wasn't what the lyrics? I can't sing them because it probably no, you won't get a claim on it because no one would recognize it. But Amy's Doyle was the coolest boy in school, and anyway they go to Galaxy High, and I've just looked the lyrics up on on Google and I can't find them unless I watch a YouTube video, and I don't want to watch a YouTube video. So I don't watch YouTube videos. I don't get all this YouTube stuff. Joking. Oh dear.
You still with us, Tim?
Yes.
No, Tim.
No, he's left.
Tim's gone.
Tim has left the building.
We've
I guess
upset
that
him.
means that the inmates are in charge of the asylum.
We've bored him to death.
Well, I hope we haven't bored him to death. I mean, that'd be somewhat tragic.
Do you know what I've had stuck in my head all day?
What have you had stuck in your head all day?
That 1-to-1 song from the Goofy movie.
We're the Goof Troop,
that.
and we always stick together. Bap diddle bap bap, yeah. That's the last line.
So
of the Goof
yeah,
Troop.
the big performance at the end of the Goofy movie when he gets on stage with the dude that sings Eye to Eye.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that being on
That's been stuck in my head all day.
So interestingly, when we were kids, right, I used to be an avid Nickelodeon watcher, and I used to phone in. I was on Nickelodeon several times on the phone-ins, because you used to phone up the 0800 800, I believe was the Nickelodeon number, if I recall.
Right.
But my sister was a massive Disney Channel fan, and she won some cool stuff on there. And we got a phone call from the Disney Channel saying, oh, you've won tickets to one of the big Disney shows that they do of all the pop artists and that, and you'll be like special guests and blah, blah, blah. And it was for like me and my sisters and mum and dad and everything. And we were really excited for it. And then I shouldn't laugh, but Dad had to go on holiday for a few months at Her Majesty's pleasure, so it never happened. We missed that.
Oh no!
But there you go. Got to laugh about these things. Have you guys done pickups yet this week? Did I miss that, or has that happened?
No. Well, I mean, apart from
No
Hobo with the
pickups
shotgun,
yet, but just Monkey
I've got-
has the
I've got a
pickups
couple of
this
things.
week.
Yeah. So that was
I
that
have
was
a
the first
pickup.
thing. Hobo with the shotgun. The next one, a film I'm sure we've all seen. Rain Man.
Oh yeah.
Thought I'd just pick that one up. I found that in the charity shop, so I thought, yep, I'll have that. Haven't seen
Go
it for a
on.
long
Seen half
time.
of it.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to watch all of it because it's great.
It's not my type of movie.
Oh, yes,
It's a
it
good
is.
movie.
You just
Yeah, but
just
it's
don't
still
know.
not my type of movie.
Do you know
Not
what
mine,
type of
really,
movie
but-
it is, though?
Yeah, but I get bored, which is probably why I only saw half of it.
No, it's
You're
good.
talking to the person. It took me 6 attempts to watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh my goodness.
To be fair with you, the only reason the first film took me about 9 attempts. The second film I only sat through because of who I was like dating at the time. And the third film, do you know what? I've watched the 19 endings, but there. There's you know, to quote Clerks 2, there's only one trilogy, and that's the trilogy.
And
Yeah.
also to Jared, I'm not going to call them spuds because that goes against my culture. If I'm going to call them anything, it's a tatty. Will tatty do? Is tatty fine?
Yeah, Tatty's fine.
Roast, what is it? Mash, what is it? You have tatties and neeps, that thingy? When is it?
Mince, mince, neeps, and tatties.
Yeah.
Neeps and
what
tatties.
is
Yeah.
what is neeps? What are neeps?
Turnip.
Ah, okay.
We've had this conversation.
I've abused my brain cells with alcohol.
Yeah, but
several
we've had
times
this
since.
conversation 3 times now. Over
All right,
what
keeping
neeps
tabs
are.
on our conversations. You're writing them down so you can.
No, but it's like, I felt like if I told you it once, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's a piece of useless information that I will remember. clearly that's not.
Every week at some point when I get in contact with Cat Vader's girl, I will phone her to have a catch up, and she'll say, "Dude, it's like 6 a.m. and I'm like, "Is it?" It's like whatever time. How many hours behind are you? She's like, I only remember because we had this conversation literally the other night. It's 7 hours, but I won't remember that next week.
I know, but that's just you being inconsiderate.
Don't answer then. She doesn't mind.
Yeah, but then she'll probably feel rude because she doesn't answer. But if you were actually being a good friend and being considerate, you wouldn't phone her at stupid o'clock in the morning.
I'm not phoning her at stupid o'clock. I'm phoning her at like 3 p.m.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, yeah, okay.
Look, it's not to question why I'm an idiot, but can I share my pickup because I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, go on.
Let me just.
No, Dave, don't let him. Don't give him the airtime. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I don't have anything to show off, so I want to see what he's got.
A couple of figures, but I want to see what Nick's got. Oh,
so excellent. I went to Rollout Roll Call this week. On the Saturday, I went and met up with a few friends, Mr. Bob Breakin, Paddy Lennon, and Brian Hickey. Paddy Lennon and Brian Hickey, two of the authors of this book. We had a beautiful meal on Saturday night. I was gifted this book. They have kindly signed it for me, to me and Jackson, which now my son thinks he owns it, but he doesn't. It's all mine. And it's like the history of Action Force, and it is absolutely incredible. And nice. Mr. Breakin has signed his interview he did in it. And the artwork in it is exquisite, man. And all the pictures of all these toys and stuff, it's just, and all the information, it's just absolutely incredible. So I was very, very chuffed to get a copy of this book because I think it retails at about 75 quid now. So I was so chuffed that Brian gifted it to me, and he gifted it to me as a thank you for some of the streams we did for Bob's book. But wow, what a book! I mean, I can't do it justice just by flicking through it, but it is. Yeah. It's just a wet dream for a Palatoy fan and somebody who's into Action Force or Action Man. I mean, obviously, this book isn't about Action Man, but you know, the origins of how Action Force came about is from Action Man, and it's just. I mean, I'm just gobsmacked at how incredibly good this book is. Oh yeah, and here's a picture of Bob Breakin back in the day with the other Palatoy guys when they were designing figures.
Can you make him big for us, please, so I can see? Where's Tim gone? Oh yeah, please, so we can see.
It's just full of such cool stuff, and the history is just It's like when you're looking at pictures like this, it's absolutely incredible. You know, unreleased prototypes and stuff like that. And
is that Brian, book one of a pair? Is there a second book?
There is a second part to it, which is the like the battle action years. I can't remember the exact name of it. More after my time for when I'm into my Action Force and that, but I'm thinking I probably will pick it up now because it's so beautifully done, and the information it's just so well written, and it's informative, you know, and it's just the fact that interviewing people from Palatoy and stuff, and you just think, I mean, even seeing like bits of the prototype for the Robo Skull, which hands down is like it's one of the most iconic toys in the Action Force line, and I believe it's Bob Breakin's favorite design he ever did. It's just so awesome. Right. So that's my pickup. Sorry to fanboy over Palatoy in that book, but I bloody love that book.
Yeah, I think Dean featured it on his channel some time ago, and I think that's where I heard about the second one as well.
Yeah, I mean it has been out for a little while now, so I'm a little late to the party, but I mean, I backed Bob Breakin's book, My Palatoy Story. It was so cool on Sunday because the Saturday was at the same hall. It was at a hall in town called Fordingbridge, about 45 minutes from me. And on the Saturday, it was just a standard toy fair, but on Sunday it was roll out roll call. So we obviously had all the fun of Saturday, that toy fair, hanging out with friends. They'd all come over from Ireland. Bob had come down from like Leicester. Alan Dawson come down. Saw VTR Dave this weekend as well, which was wicked. Saw Matt from the Kraken Wakes, hung out with him. Some really cool people from the community were there. And then Sunday, just to do that show and see Bob do his hour and a half presentation of the history of Palatoy was incredible. And my little boy went, he met Bob. He's become a big fan of Bob through I'd never push any of my stuff on my boy. My boy picks it up because he's a little sponge. So he went and he sat through the whole thing and thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, like a 9-year-old was like, he did really well. He did an hour and 20 of it. And then he sort of kid brain kicked in and then he sort of dropped down onto the floor and he had a couple of G.I. Joe and Action Force bits I'd bought from in the hall. And I was going to take him out and Bob was like, fine. So he just sat on the floor at the front for the last 10 minutes playing with the toys, which, you know, really they're toys. I think Bob quite enjoyed seeing a child playing with toys that were from, you know, that career. So it was a really good weekend. And it was, like I said, it was awesome to see so many familiar faces. It was nice.
Cool.
And it was nice that it was only like 45 minutes from my house. So I could drive there and drive back each day rather than having to get a hotel and do all that business, you know?
Right, yeah. Yeah. Especially as you weren't feeling great.
Oh, and Saturday I was I struggled a bit Saturday. I was only the initial plan was I was only going to go meet up, have lunch, disappear. But I was a bit late, so the guys went and got lunch, which was fair enough because I was running late because I wasn't feeling great. And I sort of powered through it and then ended up staying out to about, I was such an old man, stayed out to about 8 o'clock. And then I went back on Sunday morning for opening and it was just wicked. It was crazy though, crazy busy. It was only a very small venue, but it was rammed. It was absolutely, you know, when you go to an event and you can't really move. Yeah. And of course, Bob's table had a lot of attention around it. So it was quite hard to, but it was cool, man. So yeah, that was my pickup and my little adventure this weekend. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, cool. Cool. Then you had to hump that heavy old book back.
Oh, I had a kid with me. I made him I didn't trust him with that. It's typical. Like we were getting out of the car and I said to Jax, bring your backpack. I don't want to carry my backpack. It annoys me. All right. We got there. Typical Jax. He spent a £5. I spent a £5. You know, because you're kid, you end up paying for everything. And he's just he went up to one stool, but that was it. The guy goes £6, and Jax was like, okay. And I said, learn to negotiate, boy. Say will you take 5? And the guy laughed and went, yeah, I'll do 5. And then he handed Jax like an old Action Force annual and an Action Force book and something else. He went to another stall and he was looking at the Rolling Thunder, which is a G.I. Joe vehicle. Okay. And the guy showed him how it worked and everything. And Jack was like, that's amazing. He loved the little car in it. And the guy goes, there's a spare car under the table. He goes, it won't cost you much. And there's me thinking, oh, God, what's this going to cost me? And Jax picks up and goes, this one? He goes, yeah. He goes, go on, stick that in your bag, mate. You can have that. Oh. And but anyway, the point about the backpack, he wouldn't carry his backpack. Of course, he's buying stuff. Nothing to put it in. So I had to then go across the road to the shop, which the guy who owns it was running the event, and then get a bag, and then had to carry around a bloody carrier bag the rest of the day. I was like, kid, carry your backpack. It's kids, man. It's good though. Good event.
Glad you had a good time.
Yeah, I did, thank you. And I think the next big meet up is with Scuba Pete in April, to be fair. So
What is
Long
that?
way
The
off.
NEC.
Yeah.
And I'll get some peace and quiet.
You make it sound like I make your life hectic.
Well, no, the whole community makes my life hectic.
There you go. But no, I was chatting to Shabby's brother, Sai, last night before, and we had a little. We sort of worked out all the people who were going, and there's like 16 in our group, and then there's like the extended group, and like we worked out all the people going, and it's like it's a catch-all of like the community from literally. We got people coming across from abroad and everything. It's going to be a real good one. Really looking forward to it.
Is that because NEC is quite a big one?
And yeah, it is. And here's a guy who's coming, TJC. He's going to be there with his lad. So looking forward to April.
How
Evening
big
TJC.
is big compared to other ones?
Yeah, it's. I think there's something like 3,000 stalls or something mental.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh my God.
Or is it 300?
How can you have 3,000 stalls of just?
It might be 300. I may have got that wrong.
I was
but
going
it's
to
a
say
lot.
300 is big. I mean, I'd find that overwhelming.
Yeah, I
that's
think
just
it's
a lot of
300.
toys. I don't know how you could look at so many.
Thing is, with events like this, right? Truth of the matter is, I'm going to go to the event on the Sunday. I'm going to walk in the room, immediately be overwhelmed, have to go outside for half an hour because that happens to me whenever it's a busy event. Go in when it's quieting down a little bit. I'll wander around the stalls. I'll probably get to view 10% of what's there. And, but you go for the event. But the truth is, most of us are getting there early Saturday morning. We're staying the night in the hotel. And then Sunday we're doing the event and staying the Sunday night. And then we're all leaving on the Monday. So it's more the whole get together thing than the event is a reason to get together.
Yeah.
You know, it's just everyone meeting up for a few beers and, you know, a meal out and everything, you know. And I was chuffed because Bob said he's only 40 minutes from there. So he's going to pop out for a meal one of the evenings with us as well. So that was cool.
I feel like it's just
going
an
to be
excuse for them to socialise, have a few drinks, have some nice food, get cuddles from each other and look at toys.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't say hugs, I said cuddles. Emphasis on the cuddles.
And that will be Scuba, because I didn't try and hug Scuba once, but Scuba hugs. Scuba's a hugger. And he's a big man. When Scuba gets hold of you, you know, you're like, this is you and I'm Scuba, and it's like, love you too, Scuba. He's a big man, tall man, powerful man.
How tall
But he's
is
lovely. Him and his wife Leslie are absolutely. Well, Terry's met them. Terry will vouch for it in the comment. Terry, how cool is Scuba as a human being, and Leslie?
How tall is Scuba though?
I think he's like the mid-6s, but he's a stocky man. You know, he's a big chap.
I swear he said 6'7" or something.
He might be, yeah. He's a big chap.
Yeah, because we had a guy at my old work who was 6'7", and we had to special order his work trousers and shoes because we couldn't get them in standard. But you know what though? Everybody used to call him like Arik, and I was like, Arik can't be your name. And he's like, no, my name's Arcadius. And I was like, that is an awesome name.
That's crazy.
I love that comment from Terry. Kim, you've obviously never experienced a Scuba cuddle. They're epic. You don't get a choice. He's in.
No, nobody cuddles me these days. It's very sad.
Well, there's the stream we did after the last podcast, and I made the point of pointing out I did not jump on Scuba's lap. He literally scooped. I was like, "Can we get a decent selfie?" And Scuba's like, "Yeah, sure, come here." And he scooped me up like a baby. he's cradling me like a baby, and then he sat down on his lap. So I'm like on his lap, like.
I think an image of Scuba walking about in suspenders is something that will be ingrained in my mind forever.
Yeah. I can never look at him the same again since that
And the
hour.
blonde wig, to be fair.
We broke Scuba's pie virginity. We when we went to the pub, we got a pie for him. Well, I say we didn't get it for him because
What kind of pie? I don't. What kind of pie?
It was a big meat pie with like a load of
but what kind of pie? When you say meat, is it mystery meat? What kind of meat?
It was a steak pie or something. I don't know. I don't forensically analyze.
Was it like crust or the horrible like hard thin crust?
No, it was proper pastry with like a decent top. It was a good pie, real pie.
Yeah, but again, was it like solid sides and a solid top, or like solid sides?
I don't know. If I'm honest with you, I was drinking at the table and I burnt those brain cells out of my head.
Because I feel like what you guys call a pie is not what we call a pie.
Tim, what are you doing?
I'm just messing around. Just messing around with the thing.
Slideshow.
Yeah, now you're Kenny from South Park.
Yep. Yeah, no, but Scuba's a sod because we were at the pub and like he's just like, let me get you a drink, Scuba. No, I've got these, and I kept saying to him, please let me buy you a drink. And then like we got to the hotel that evening and Terry was there and we were all really hungry because originally we were going to go out for like an Indian, but we'd sort of had such a big lunch that by the time we were hungry again, it was a bit late. So we're like, oh, I think it was Terry. He was like, I've got the app, I can order some McDonald's in. And bloody, before we knew it, like that Scuba and Leslie have paid for our McDonald's and that. It's like, guys, they're just
nice,
you know, when you're
people
like,
is what they are.
The generosity of, I'm pretty sure Scuba paid for my bloody meal at the pub as well. I'm sure he did. Just, you're trying to like treat him because he's over here, but he's just a genuine, generous guy. And he's just like, you know when like you're sad to see, like we took him to the train station, sort of said bye to Terry, and me and Alan took Scuba and Leslie to the train station. But you know when you get that little bit of a lump in your throat because you've had such a great sort of 24 hours with somebody and you know that you're not going to... I didn't know they were coming back so soon, but you sort of like really missed them because they were good people, man.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, yeah, like TJC says there, he's just a generous guy, man. He's just...
Those are few and far between in people now.
He's everything you see on screen as well. The Scuba you see on stream is Scuba in real. He's no different, man. He's no different at all, which is always nice. Do I lose cool points in that onesie, snooty? Yeah, I probably do. But the thing is,
it's a fake hoodie, is it not?
It's fake, and but it's very warm and my house is cold. And if I wasn't wearing it, my nipples would be so hard right now they could cut glass. So I'm glad I'm wearing it. I got chuckle out, Tim.
Love that image. Really, like. Do you know what? I'm gonna stop coming on this stream because every time I come on here, somebody gives me an image right before I go to bed that I don't really want. I'd like to not have nightmares, please.
You sat on a stream with me wearing what was basically a lace corset with women's makeup on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that's kind of feminine, though. That's very feminine.
Do you wonder why I have no soul and slightly traumatized half the time? That's why I have issues. To be fair, we both have
No
issues.
comment.
That's probably why we get on so well.
No comment, Kim. No comment.
Hey,
No.
I'm fine with my issues. I wear mine proud.
So, I'm getting quite the stock of books here. I must stop getting books. For a person who doesn't read, I own a lot of books.
Yeah, I started collecting loads of those DK Star Wars books with all the blueprints and stuff in. I've got a massive stack of them now. I doubt I'll ever get around to reading them, but never mind.
Well, my boy's got all his Doctor Who books down at the moment because, of course, Saturday night is the big night. We're having a Doctor Who party at our house.
I was at the new Doctor Who where they basically said that it's like series 14, but it's technically like season 40, whatever it is.
I don't know how they're doing it, but Toy Chat Tips, tune in to hear about APD's nips, 100%. Well, David Tennant's back as the Doctor. David Tennant's back.
Why?
I mean, no one knows why. Jodie Whittaker at the end of the last season regenerated into David Tennant, and everyone's like,
he must only be there for
what?
like a few episodes, and then it goes to
he's
the
there
new
for
Doctor.
3 specials,
Yeah, okay, right.
and then it goes to Ncuti Gatwa.
I think it's because everybody liked David Tennant as the Doctor.
I think they needed to make a big apology to the fans and get people back on side after the piss poor run of Chris Chimballs and what he did to the series. So I think it's getting Russell T Davies back in and David Tennant to do 3 specials is probably a big way of trying to draw back some of the fan base that they absolutely lost and crushed.
I'm not a Doctor Who fan, so I can't comment.
I mean,
so does
lifelong Whovian.
So does asking if I've got any mask vehicle reviews coming up. Well, I've got 2 vehicles left to do, Soda. I've got the Buzzard and Stinger, I believe. But I kind of ran out of momentum with them. I was doing them every week, wasn't I? And then I kind of took a break, and I never really got back to it. I'm sure I will be doing them again at some point.
I like the crossovers you did with Luke.
Oh yeah. We did our top 5. We did a couple of top 5s for Mask, and then and we've done a what was the last one we did? I can't even remember now. Origins figures. But we've got a few more in the pipeline. Some more top 5 videos that we're going to do. But yeah, no, I'm sure I'll get around to doing the mask reviews at some point. But I think what happened is because I only had 2 left, I wanted to space them out a bit, and also I wasn't very keen on doing the Buzzard because it's my least favourite mask toy. So I wasn't particularly enthusiastic about doing it. So I just kept putting it off. And then as more stuff came into the nest, more Playmobil stuff, more McFarlane multiverse stuff, and it never really happened. But I'm sure it will at some point.
Well, I enjoy your mask stuff and the crossovers you do. You can tell Skeletor when you see him next that he's wrong. Fury would still do him in 2 rounds, but that's his opinion, mate. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not sure about that.
Cheeky. It's a floating poo.
No, she's a potato.
I'm a sweet potato.
Yeah, she's a
sweet
sweet potato.
That looks
like
that
a
does
poo.
look like a poo.
No, she's a sweet potato.
It looks like when your cat climbs in your vegetable drawer and does a poo. Quick, get Beastman or stick it in the freezer. Oh, it's super potato with the breast augmentation.
Now she's French fries, like from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That's pretty cool.
Right, I've got an important question here, guys. And this is probably the most important question I've ever asked on the Chillstream. I'm sorry, I am going to take it to a serious place, Tim, but just for a second.
Okay, but how serious is it going to be?
It's pretty serious, right? So here's the question. Burger King fries or McDonald's fries?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. I'm in McDonald's.
I think I don't know.
Although I
like
sometimes
that.
prefer
Burger
Burger King
King's
burgers.
Yeah, Burger King fries are
Controversial.
probably better, but that's not to say that I necessarily prefer them. But I think the Burger King fries are a bit thicker, aren't they, and crispier?
Yeah, but they're not as salty.
No, that's true.
Sorry to take it to a dark place, Tim, and divide opinion amongst the community.
Okay. And Joe Dubecki in the chat says McDonald's. Burger King makes better burgers, in my humble opinion.
See, Joe agrees with me. Burger King's burgers, but McDonald's fries.
Yeah, well, Burger King has the Whopper, which is charboiled. Which
you see, I used to be a Big Mac. I used to praise the Big Mac as the best burger on the planet, right? And I used to say that with confidence. But then I had the double quarter pounder from McDonald's the other day, and I was like, there's a new contender.
Do you know what really annoys me about the double quarter pounder, though?
What's that?
You can get extra pickles and stuff on the quarter pounder, but they won't give you extra pickles on the double quarter pounder.
Why?
Don't know.
Maybe there's
I'm like, why do I only get the choice of extra pickles on one version of that burger?
I didn't know that you could get extra.
Yes,
pickles.
you can ask for extra pickles on stuff.
Wow.
And then you'll get it wrapped with a sticker on it that says extra pickles.
Oh, wow. Does that cost more, though?
No.
I like pickles. I didn't know you could do that with McDonald's. Next time I get a McDonald's, I'm gonna ask for extra pickles. I like them a lot.
Do you know the other thing you can do if you ever go to Subway? You can actually ask them just to put pickles in a tub.
Oh.
And they'll just give you a whole heap of pickles in a tub.
Oh, cool.
And Andrew in the chat says, Burger King Whopper is a chart topper, but the Big Mac brings me back.
I tell you, Andrew's
the Burger
really on
King
form
Whopper
tonight.
is pretty ace, but Big Mac for the win in your face.
And Gerard O'Connor says McDonald's incorporates sugar in their fries, game changer, and thus the masses are hooked.
Is that in America, or is that included in the UK and stuff? Because we have the sugar tax over here. Yeah, because we've got sugar tax. So
Gerard's from Ireland, isn't he? Or have
he's in Ireland.
Yeah, so that's what it's just. I'm only asking just because we've got a high sugar tax. So I'd be surprised if McDonald's would pay for that in their.
Last time I went to Dublin, I had a Whopper, which I kid you not had 4 burgers in it. That was the promotion. 4 Whopper burgers in a bun. It was massive. And I tell you what, I nearly punched a hole in the porcelain the next day getting that thing out.
Excellent.
Might have been all the Guinness on top of it as well. I don't know.
Oh, it's international.
I must go back to Dublin because I really enjoy paying £9 for a pint. That's probably what it is now. It's bloody expensive. I went like 10 years ago.
Right.
Wasn't like £9, but I think it was about £6 a pint then it equated to. But that could have just been the exchange rate. But Temple Bar is expensive.
Well, I haven't been out and bought a pint for a long time, many years. I've no idea
Right,
what
now-
it costs now.
Now, Jared Connor makes a valid point here. Supermax, right? I think it's just because I used to stay on O'Connell Street just by the Stiletto in the Ghetto, which is the big spiky, bloody statue. You wander down that road and then you go to this restaurant called Supermax, and it's almost like the branding of it looks like a bit of a rip-off and cross between Wimpy and McDonald's, but they do everything in there, and their food is really good. So
Oh,
I can tell you, I've eaten at Supermax. I know what it is. It's ace.
To be fair, we
Oh.
got a new burger joint that delivers out to my house, and I have to admit their burgers are quite good. But it's like
Can you send
proper
me-
burgers, like not McDonald's thin, tiny burgers, like proper
Now
thick
you see,
burgers.
for me, I put burgers into two classifications, Kim. Now, you get your gourmet burger, which you might get when you go to like a pub when you order like the big thick burger with all the bacon, all the stuff, and the nice thick chunky fries. And there's a place for that. But I'm glad that McDonald's and that have the nice thin burgers, because they're two different. They're both burgers, but I have to be.
Yeah,
You
but
can't.
my brother.
If I'm in the
but-
mood, if I'm in a mood for McDonald's, you will not satiate me with a gourmet burger, and vice versa.
But I suppose
Do you
my
see what I
brother
mean?
and I will say that a burger's not a burger unless it's messy to eat.
oh.
If I have to eat a burger with a knife and fork, I feel like I should get a discount for having to put extra effort in. That's all I'm saying. Not be all Americans first. Over here, Supermax is a type of prison of the worst of the worst.
Saying that though, apparently McDonald's is a good place to work for, especially if you're in the management scheme.
I worked for McDonald's for 22 minutes.
Wow.
Only 22 minutes?
Well, I got there, right? Showed up. I was in between jobs. It was when I was younger. And did their interview, showed up, and they had a real cob on because at the it's all different now. It's all changed. We are going back like 18, 19 years. And they were chewy because some people are dicks when it comes to these things, or at least they used to be. And I've had these for years. And but oh, you're going to need to cover those, blah blah blah. And anyway, they went, we've got your uniform, and they literally, like, this guy chucked my uniform at me, and I caught it, and they went, you can get changed in there. And it was the toilet, and someone had just walked out, and you could smell they just had a massive shit. So I was like,
So they took a massive
Boom.
dump in there and it stunk.
and I was like, do you know what? I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this. So I got on my bike and I went home, and I thought, screw this.
Oh.
It's not a good start, is it? I mean, you're bitching about my tattoos. Like, literally, I'm a geezer who just wants to earn minimum wage just to keep above water. I mean, it may have changed now, but wasn't great. Pay for your pints and good food. Enjoy your Excel relaxation. Forget the cost. Can't take the pennies with you. No, you can't. You can't take the pennies with you, Gerard. But sometimes when you go on holiday and if you've only got like £1,000 spending money, like, and you say only £1,000 is a decent amount of spending money, but like if you're like banging out nearly £10 a pint, it don't last too long, do it? Over a week.
No.
But I agree, you can't take it with you.
Mm.
I tried working at Wendy's back in the late 80s. I lasted about a month, which is the first and last time I was asked to clean the bathrooms.
No thanks.
Let's see. I ran a business for someone a few years back. I managed it. And I always used to clean the staff toilet because I used to have this philosophy that if I would do the dirtiest, lowest down, shittiest job, that if I'm doing that job, then it sets an example to my staff. If I'm doing the worst of the worst jobs, then if I ask you to do a job, but public restrooms, They're vile things. You almost just need to go in with a pressure washer and a hazmat suit, don't you? In some of them.
Yeah.
Humans are disgusting. You know that.
Here's
They are
one for
fairly,
you.
yeah.
When I went to America, here's something that got me. Few things actually when it comes to American toilets. One, how much water is in the bowl, really high, lots of water. Two, how big the gaps are down the side of the doors. If you're in there and you're trying to lay a cable, last thing you want is someone walking by and potentially catching a glimpse of you going. And three, like toilet seat covers. They have like toilet seat covers. You take them out of a thing and you place them on the toilet seat. That's a good idea in principle. But like my hack for years has been well, now you've got hand sanitizer gel everywhere you go, or go to the hand sanitizing the hand soap thing with a wad of tissue, pump some in it, wipe the seat round, chuck that down the pan and do what you got to do. But to have toilet seat covers, that was like little paper things. You must know what I mean, Tim. You're an American cousin.
They have them here as well.
Hey?
Yeah, I've never worried about using toilet seat covers, but if a toilet seat looks dirty, I will wipe it down.
That's what I do.
I'd turn around and walk out. In fact, I very rarely use public bathrooms. I can't stand it.
Now, I don't like a public bathroom, but if you're on holiday or you're away and you've got no choice. But what was concerning me about the level of water in the toilets was sitting on one and potentially, you know, the guys know what I'm saying. The guys know what I'm saying. That was concerning.
Yeah, sitting down and dunking your boys in the water. No,
wow, great. No, just more imagery that I didn't need.
Yeah, and Soda Cauldron's asking, are there still Wimpy burger joints? And I'm not
there was
familiar.
Wimpy to a few years ago here. I don't know if it's still. Let me look. I don't know if
the only
Wimpy's still
Wimpy
going,
I'm familiar with is the character from Popeye that always asks, can I pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today?
Yep. Wimpy still exists in the UK.
Wow. They're few and far between, though. They used to be everywhere, didn't they?
Before like Burger King came in, in fact, I remember the Wimpy that used to be, the main Wimpy that used to be in Poole High Street, changed to be a Burger King, and then they opened up in a much smaller venue years later of unit.
No, I used to like Wimpy's back in the day, but they seem to be very sparsely scattered.
Just reading Gerard's comment. Whilst I'd agree, I still think there's jobs where people are complete peens about tattoos. I mean, I've got friends who have had issues in the last few years, but then depends, doesn't it? I mean, I have no issue with neck tattoos. I don't have one, but that's one of my best friends is a tattooist, and I mean, he's a paint by numbers, mate. You know.
Isn't
but
that
he
has an area though to get it on the neck?
Well, lots of people have it done. I think the thing is, and I know Slim says this to his customers, if they come in and they want hand tattoos and neck tattoos and whatever, and he won't tattoo anyone's face unless he literally has known them for years and they're already covered, or do you know what I mean? He's not. But I know Slim has warned many of people. He's like, right, you know what comes with tattooing your hands or your neck or even going down your lower arms, right? You know what that can mean. You know. And I know footballers have made it trendy and cool. And yeah, the attitudes have changed a lot in the last 18 years, but there's still always going to be dicks out there. I mean, in my job, literally everyone's got sleeves. I mean, tattoos are so common in in the building trade. Everyone in their nan's got tattoos. It's just commonplace. But like I say, 18 years ago, I'm not the world's most tattooed guy. I'm not as tattooed as you by the sounds of it, Jared. But I mean, I'm reasonably down my legs, my thighs, my calves, my arms, my chest, my back. I'm pretty covered, but yes, attitudes have changed, but I just think people are still dicks about it in certain places. I mean, I used to work in a law firm straight out of school, and I remember when they told me I had to wear long sleeve shirts because I had arm tattoos, which is fine. It depends what you're doing, doesn't it? I mean, building trade, like I say, everyone's got them. No one cares. It's just normal. But I had too many jobs that paid minimum wage. I'm lucky to have moved past that stage. I don't even know what minimum wage is in the. Is Andrew American?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Don't know what minimum wage is. I miss managing tattoo shops. Good times, better people. I used to work in my friend's tattoo shop on a Saturday morning, setting up all the machines and stuff, cleaning down and all that to earn credit for tattoos. One of the ways I used to get my tattoos. It's changed a bit now though, because I went in. My mate now, he's all got like all disposable. I remember when Slim and Co opened their shop, like they used to sit there and like bloody solder their own needles and stuff. But now you just buy them in a pack and one shot bin them. They don't sterilize them no more, and all the ends are plastic and that. And it's completely changed from when I was sort of doing work in them.
Right. I'm gonna go sleep.
Okay.
You're gonna go to. Are you going?
Yeah.
You're going. Why are you going?
Well, thanks for coming on.
Because I'm falling asleep.
We need to speak tomorrow night about some stuff, so I'll phone you after work if that's all good.
Don't have a choice.
We do. It's reject call.
Sounds serious.
Yeah, but I feel that's rude.
No, not serious. Not serious at all. It's about our next episode. It's just I've sorted out a few things today to get things in place to make it. It's Kim's subject next.
Mm-hmm.
And I fully intend on putting as much effort into that as we did on the last one.
Cool.
Okay. Well, if I don't pick up, it's because I'm still in a meeting.
And Soda Cauldron says, my mate got an MBE for being a street cleaner. His work ethic led to the town winning lots of awards. Simple truth is, wherever you find yourself, be there. And I guess we lost Kim.
Night, Kim.
Night, Kim.
And Joe Becky says, I loathe public bathrooms only on a strictly as needed basis. Yeah, well, it seems like when I was younger, when I was a kid, if I had to go number 2, I almost never could go at school. I had to do it at home for some reason.
I don't think I've ever had a crap in a public toilet. I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
And Travels More, or with Jason says, yes, we got Wimpy. And Travels More with Jason. One is in Maidstone. One is in Stud. And Soda Cauldron, we had a fake Wimpy called Wimpies.
Humpies.
And Gerard O'Connor, Rule of thumb: if you have a massive body of work already, the studio will tattoo whatever you like.
Yeah, no, that's true. But if you walk in with none and you're like, I want that tattoo Mike Tyson's got on my face, they're pretty much going to go, do one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Andrew says, sadly, I am here of the US of A. Please don't hold that against me, okay?
Why would we hold it against you?
And Gerard O'Connor, Andrew may be American, but certainly the man. I think it was somebody made a comment earlier, was asking if he was American or if he was in the UK.
I asked if he was American.
And Gerard O'Connor says, sleep easy, Spud, referring to Kim. And TJC says, night, Kim. And Travels and more, Jason, night, Kim, and turn off the phone, Kim. Say, oh, I kept it at work, lol, laughing out loud. And Andrew,
she makes out I'm a bad guy, but I'm not.
Yeah, and Andrew, the video potato is off to sleep. If you have trouble, you can count sheep.
He's done well, hasn't he? He's kept this up the whole stream. That's been,
yeah, and Kim Gonick says, night all, sorry, I just can't stay up late these days. That's okay, Kim.
No worries, Kim. I think I'll
She's
probably
getting older
soon as well.
I know it's later for you people in UK. And Gerard O'Connor, bathrooms at my east of Dublin are all beautifully adorned with phone numbers one must simply ignore.
So Gerard will know this Burger King in Dublin, if it's still there. But I remember going down to going about 10, maybe 11 years ago, and you walk down, you're like, why the flipping heck is everything blue in here? And apparently they put these specific blue lights in the toilets because people can't find their veins under these lights, so they can shoot stuff up. Yeah, so under blue light they can't do it. He'll know the place I mean, I'm sure.
And Travels and more, Jason says, on that note, I am off as well, so he's going to bed.
Jason.
And Gerard O'Connor says, self-praise equals no praise, Nick. He has a little laughing smiley face that's crying and it's rolled on the side.
I got a question for Gerard. Do you ever drink in Brussels, mate? I love it in there.
And Andrew says, early to bed, early to rise makes a potato healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that's all that's in the chat so far. Now we're just waiting to hear from Gerard again.
I'm playing slap bass on my cheeks for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slag.
Yeah, why are you doing that on your
farm?
Don't know, because I sometimes feel the need to just slap the bass. I haven't got a bass in my hand, so I'm going to slap her the face.
Okay.
When I used to play music, I really must pick it up again. But it's like when you slap for so long, your thumb hurts, but then your thumb becomes rock. Like if you slap for long enough, if you was to strike someone on the head with your thumb, you'd probably kill them stone dead because it becomes like an annihilating force.
Yeah, you end up with the big calluses, don't you, on you?
Oh God, yeah. That's one of the reasons I'd be scared to pick up my bass again, because when I was gigging all the time, my fingers were like rock hard. And people go, oh, but you in building, your hand should be tough. I mainly plaster, and plaster's like an abrasive, so it kind of wears your skin down, so it stays quite soft.
Right.
And Gerard O'Connor says, yeah, I guess he was responding to something you had said.
Yeah. It's that I love that part of Dublin.
And Soda Cauldron says, yep, good Night Toll. I guess he's going to bed.
Night nurse.
And Andrew, Monkeyboy, I think, has toys to show. Let's see what he's got. Maybe Migo.
Oh no, I don't have any Migo, but I did get a couple of figures this week. I picked up. Do you want to make me big, Tim, as they say?
Yes, let's make you big. And
Hang on, what does it say? Santara worked in a restaurant for years, and she was stunned by how filthy people left the restroom. She can't understand how anyone could stand using a urinal. Yeah,
I hate using urinals. I hate it.
yeah,
I'm not a shy man in any way, shape, or form, but standing shoulder to shoulder and peeing with it's disgusting. Splashback, I hate it.
Yeah. Okay, so this week I got 2 Black Series figures, and they are both from the Ahsoka TV show, which I thought was pretty good. I didn't mind that as a show. And there was a couple of characters that I really did like in it. The first one was Sabine Wren.
mm-hmm.
And this is figure number 3 in the Ahsoka range. I can't really do much about the glare on the screen, unfortunately, I'm afraid. But if I can try and angle it, it's a very good face sculpt. Actually, it looks quite a lot like the actress. I already own a Sabine Wren figure, but it was based on her Rebels character. So this is based on from the TV show. So that was the first one that I got, was Sabine Wren. And the other one I got was Hera Syndulla. Again, the face sculpt is really good. It looks a lot like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And again, I own this this character in the Black Series in the previous release that was from the I think from the Rebels cartoon. But I wanted one with the Mary Elizabeth Winstead sculpt. So yeah, there were the two figures that I bought this week, and that's about it, I'm afraid.
And you showed us your DVDs. It was just that one.
Yeah, I got Rain Man and Hobo with a Shotgun, which I will be watching probably in the next couple of days. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I've got about 100 DVDs that I've still got to watch, but that's gone to the top of my list. So.
And Joe Dubecki has a question. He's asking, don't you Euros, pardon the term, use piss troughs? We have them.
Troughs.
Yeah, we have them here in old establishment. It's mostly individual urinals, though.
Yeah, really does depend on where you go. Some places do. Now, I appreciate if you've got to use a urinal. I appreciate a urinal that's got the nice separators between you. I don't need to see other men. I don't want splashback. I just don't like urinals. I hate urinals. They're disgusting.
Yeah.
Horrible things.
Yeah.
If I'm using the urinal, it's because I'm desperate.
Joe was saying Mary Elizabeth Winstead for the win. Yes, I agree. She's married to Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, and Joe Dubecki says at old places they used to have water heaters cut in half. Not the ideal place to take a slash. And Joe Dubecki, Andrew, ugh.
Yeah.
Gone mad. I'm slapping everything.
Yeah. Good stuff.
You say that with so much conviction.
I was just thinking about the Mighty Boosh when you were talking about the slapping, and I was thinking about the Hitcher with his massive thumb.
Yeah. I love them.
Brilliant.
Tim, have you seen the Mighty Boosh?
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I'm not sure the
Oh,
humour
I
would
think you'd
translate
like it.
particularly well. I don't know if it would just be confusing. I think it's a very British kind of humour, isn't it? It's very, very silly. I mean, it's not far off Monty Python type
with my
stuff. You know, it's
solo
quite...
polo vision. Eels up inside ya, finding an entrance where they can.
Eels up inside ya.
Eels.
For your mouth, for your eyes, for your
Eels.
anus. Eels.
Well, I've watched a little bit of Steptoe and Son. The British version is Sanford and Son.
Oh, okay.
And I used to watch a lot of Are You Being Served as a teenager, and then I watched some Monty Python when I was a teenager.
Well, they're three very different shows.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So Gerard O'Connor saying,
Hello.
"So guys, I walk my fur babies at 11:30 every evening, so I shall jump out of that chat just now, but will for sure continue to listen. Yous are all amazing, and I cherish these times."
Thanks, Gerard.
And-
Cheers, man.
And Andrew, action pop dad, slapping everything like Jaco Pastorius. Some say strange, others say glorious.
He's doing well with these rhymes. He is doing very well.
He's doing really well.
Yeah, and Gerard O'Connor says, one last thing, are ye aware that Ewan McGregor's uncle was in the original Star Wars movies? Yeah, I knew that since he mentioned it on some late night program some years back. He said that, I think he said it was his uncle was playing Wedge.
Really?
Boring for your mind, for your tummy, for your... Sorry, got eels of me now.
Eels.
Eels.
But I wasn't
Tim-
sure. I'm not sure if it was his uncle or if it was his brother-in-law.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Well,
Joe
he's married to a hot chick. Yeah, his wife is very nice.
Trapped in a box by a cockney nut. Here, have a cup of tea.
And Joe Dubecki says Faulty Towers was crazy, nuts, and funny as hell. And
Yeah, Faulty Towers was right. Yeah.
yeah, and then Joe Dubecki can't say enough about Python, meaning Monty Python.
Yeah.
I'm the itcher. Let me put you in the picture. Creeping through your room in the middle of the night with my solo position. So Monkey's got me on my Boosh songs.
I'm not going to kill you, you onion. I'm just going for a sprinkle.
Then there was that one British sitcom we got here on cable in the 90s called Absolutely Fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Fab.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I knew the Ripper when he was just a nipper.
I'm slashing like
Tim.
a powerful horse.
Gerard
Tim.
O'Connor. What?
I'm gonna send you links to the Mighty Boosh, mate. And all I ask is you watch 2 episodes. Just give the first one a chance, because the first one you might go, what is this? But
Yeah. And
if you can get through 2 of them, there's every chance you'll go, I'm hooked.
Yeah, they are good.
And Gerard O'Connor says his uncle, as he was a kid being brought to the cinema as a kid to watch the biggest new movie, and his uncle Tim is talking about Ewan McGregor and his uncle.
Oh.
And Xantara says, Andrew, let's see if you can come up with a second sentence to rhyme. Let's shout, hi ho, silver.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
And
love me?
Andrew, Mighty Boosh is good on TV or on radio. Such fun music, such bravado.
Do you love me? Are you playing your love games with me? I just want to know what to do because I need your love a lot.
And Jody Becky says, Edwina and Patsy, role models indeed.
Yeah.
He's talking about the ladies from Absolutely Fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good show. That was all right, that.
And I remember on Roseanne's sitcom back in some years back, they had Roseanne and her family went to England and they were in a restroom and it was the ladies from Absolutely Fabulous were in there too, and they started saying, oh, look at the two drag queens, and then they said the same thing about Roseanne and her sister.
Oh.
Do you know what? That's what I heard Roseanne Barr on an interview not that long ago. I mean, she's got some views, but I didn't realise that when they brought Roseanne back, that they killed her character off because they were unhappy with something she said in real life. But then they continued the series as the Connors.
She called this one really ugly-looking female politician Zira from Planet of the Apes, and they said, oh, you're being racist. You can't say that, so you're fired. And she apologized for it, although I think it was kind of a bad way that she apologized. She said she was on some sort of like sleep medication at the time, but I think she just hated the way that that lady looked, and that lady just looked freaking ugly. but fugly.
So Tim, here's I'm going to give you a little idea of what you can expect from the Boosh. Driving along in a plastic dream, heart beats fast like a machine. I am Electro Boy. It's messed up, mate. It's so good.
Yeah, Gerard O'Connor says, Kay gotta go, peace. So he's leaving, and
see you, Gerard. Thanks,
Andrew says, Gerard O'Connor, it is always an honor.
Oh, he is good at this, isn't he?
I know he's kept it up all night. Well done, Andrew. I
mean, I did like 2 rhyming things just to show solidarity, and I got bored. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So fair play, Andrew.
He's really committed to it. Yeah, he's done well.
Sometimes you got to commit to the bit.
Yeah.
You want to commit to the bit.
Yeah, man. Well, Tim, we've been doing 2.5 hours. What do you say? Sir?
Yeah, I say we could end early. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the U.S., so I don't know. I kind of figured that maybe Lester would be busy, so I think he would come on camera by now if he was going to join us on camera, and I know
he's probably sailing along on the Perspex Sea.
I know Universal Toy Collector Stu was telling me on Facebook earlier in private message that he might join the chat if he got home from work early enough, but I think
I must correct you on something there, though. Until the 1st of January, he is Sue. He lost the bet. He must suffer the consequence.
Yeah, but last time I posted that Universal Toy Collector Sue on Facebook, he just gave a laughing smiley face at me.
Because he's Sue. He made a bet, but fair play to him. What was it? I believe it came because he said something that Hasbro were crowdfunding was never going to get funded, and he said if this gets funded, I'll change my name to Sue till January 1st.
Yeah, and
it got funded.
Andrew says thanks for gents, for the weekly treat. This is the live stream that can't be beat.
Thanks, Andrew. Cheers, man.
And Xantara says England's Thanksgiving is July the 4th, when they drop the pests out of the British Empire. And Andrew says, I always appreciate all of you spending this time. To ignore your efforts would be crime. Or to ignore your efforts would be crime.
Cool. Right, well, should we call time then, Tim?
Yeah, it's been 2.5 hours, so I just want to thank everybody in the chat who joined us. We had a bunch of people coming in and out of chat. The chat room, we had Sean Blue Digital and Darth Wizzy Wizard and Dean of All Things 80s and Lester San Jose the Skeptic Tank, and then Andrew Andrews, Antara, Joe Dubecki. Yeah, Andrew Andrews.
Ninja.
Yeah, Gerard O'Connor and you, Monkeyboy, being 3 of the mods. And then we had TJC in the chat. He's saying, great stream, guys. And Andrew, next week I will be dropping the rhyming posts. Thanks again to the best host.
You've done very well, Andrew. That was a real effort. Well done.
Yeah.
No, that has been an epic effort.
Yeah, well, thanks to everyone who's been in the chat. Thank you to Kim for joining us earlier. Thanks to Nick for joining us again. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
That's all right, man. No worries. Cool. All right, Tim. Well, have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, have a good one. Enjoy your yams and turkey and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, the yams I don't really eat that much. And Gerard O'Connor, I beat him. And laughing face, rolling, laughing, crying, laughing face emojis. So
so versatile.
I'd like to thank Kim Gonick for joining us on camera, along with you, Monkeyboy, and Action Pop Dad, Nick, and myself.
No worries.
And we had Travels and More with Jason, who's in the chat, and we had Knights of Old in the chat room as well. So we had a lot of
Wizzy. We're going to forget someone.
Yeah, Darth Wizzy Wizard in Canada. I mentioned him. Or Gerard O'Connor, I beat Andrew. Xantara, yuck on Thanksgiving food. I have spaghetti each year in protest. Okay,
I like this style.
Let's see. We have a few more. Joe Dubecki, take care all. Thanks for your time. I worked through your stream, and it's very nice to be able to escape mentally.
Thanks, Joe. Cheers, man.
And Gerard O'Connor.
Sorry, I made it really political earlier about the Burger King and McDonald's fries.
Yeah, we'll just don't do what they do on Comics Division's live streams, where it comes down to people saying pineapples on your pizza or no pineapples, because that can get pretty divisive.
Yeah.
Well, now you raised the question, I'm joking. I don't care. Put what you want on your pizza. I'm not eating it.
Yeah. My oldest brother always liked pineapple on his pizzas, but his wife and son, I don't think they ever got into eating pineapple on pizzas.
I haven't made my mind up. I don't know if I love it or hate it. I literally can't decide.
Here, controversy. I like anchovies. I said it. You're going to have to deal with it now. Put it out there. Anchovies on a pizza is a winner.
Yeah.
And Andrew says that Gerard O'Connor, you win just by showing up. I'm happy to be just part of the club. And then he's
Find me
showing
in the club.
something in the chat. It's a bunch of like these things, little hearts, and then
Yeah.
some sort of papers. I don't know what those are, but it doesn't show up on StreamYard. Those don't show up on StreamYard at all for some reason.
It's just Gerard sending some love.
Yeah. So I'm. Oh, Andrew. Pineapple on pizza is good by me, but I usually eat whatever I see. Haha. Gerard O'Connor, one rhyme this time. Until next round, the winner shall be found. So, yeah, it's 2 hours, 35 minutes, and some seconds. So, I'm going to end. So, thank you, everybody,
Cheers,
for
everyone.
joining us.
Thanks very much. See you next time.
Have a good night, all.
Bye.